Welcome to Ron's RC Garage in Peoria, Arizona. It's Tuesday, November 18th. A little chilly outside, so we're going to do some work on the buggy inside. As I told you before, I was in the Air Force way back in the day and was deployed to Southeast Asia 3 times. Pretty long flight all the time. There were several legs to it. From Oklahoma to California, California to Hawaii, Hawaii to Guam, Guam to Okinawa, Okinawa finally to Utapao Air Base in Thailand, where we had the B-52s. It was the only base in Thailand with B-52s. Some of those legs were in excess of 7 and 8 hours, so you have a lot of time to think. And I made an observation that if anything goes wrong, especially due to bad maintenance, and these aircraft I flew over on are the same ones I worked on. So if you have a problem due to bad maintenance, I noticed that they're at 40,000 feet, there's no parking lot to pull over into. So you have to be really anal on your maintenance. Check and double check everything. Make sure things are right. The same train of thought went over during my automotive repair career, which was in excess of 30 years. All my race car efforts, same thing. Take a car to a track, make sure it's right. And it has also spilled over into the RC hobby. I feel the same way. It's just as important to me. So the buggy gets the same treatment. Everything needs to be squeaky clean. It needs to be right. When I take it to the track, I want to warm the engine, throw it down, and go. These other guys, I see them, they're coming in, they're pulling engines, differentials. They've never even had the car on a track yet. They haven't even looked at the track, so they're not making adjustments for track condition. They're not prepared. I don't know what they do during the week, and that's their business. It doesn't take all that long. You dial in, you do it. So I'm going to show you a little tip that Clay at Quicks RC showed me. You guys may all do this. It was new to me, and I just find it interesting. We're going to use our little homemade car stand here. I'd like to have a nice aluminum one that pivots around, but I'd rather spend the money on upgrades for the buggy. This is a couple hours, a little bit of wood, paint, urethane, a couple of screws, and some vacuum tubing. But it works for me. It's fine. So you can see we got back from the park, and of course it's dirty. Nothing like bringing it off a muddy track, but it still is. So what Clay showed me is this little tool. It's a no-brainer. It costs nothing. It's a little piece of vacuum tubing, antenna tubing. It's hollow. And you pull the fuel line off of the carburetor, pull the fuel line off the muffler, connect the two into this tubing, and you got no fuel spill. And more important, no contamination in the fuel system. Cannot tolerate any dirt in the fuel system or any dirt and debris in the engine. Pull the little clips out. I got these little containers, dollar store. They got a seal. They latch. I put all the hardware on a teardown in one of those little containers. That's the same hardware every time. Every time I run it, the minimum I do is pull the fuel tank, engine, radio tray. Of course, I clean the radio tray with a nice dry paintbrush, and the rest of it gets soap and water. So pull the fuel tank out and put it to the side for a wash job. Now the rest of this tool, the little antenna caps, of course one goes on the carburetor inlet, the other on the muffler. Now it's totally clear just to pull the engine off. No fuel dripping anywhere. And it makes sense to me. Then I wash, well, the other thing, of course, we all service, well, if you should, all totally service and re-oil the air filter every time. Make sure there's no debris around your carburetor. Take your tie wrap off, pull the air cleaner, set it aside for cleaning, and immediately cap it. Everything's rock solid, nothing can get into anything. I wash everything with hot soap and water other than the radio tray. Air dry it really, really well. I put all the hardware and tear down in this little box, fill it full of hot soap and water, latch it, just shake it like crazy, undo it, carefully rinse the water out with clean, blow dry everything, and it's all squeaky clean, ready for reassembly. Hot soap and water the whole car. Blow everything extremely dry with air. Of course, the wheels and tires come off, everything gets scrubbed. What I lube all the out drives, dog bones and everything. Ginger had this. It's high temperature, high pressure sewing machine oil. Extremely light, one drop on each of those components. Work it in a little bit, and I've, to this point, have shown no wear anywhere at all. And this car gets run hard, it gets crashed a lot. The frequency of the crashes aren't quite as bad as they used to be. And after everything is squeaky dry, everything with plastic balls, all of it, get a touch of silicone spray. Keeps them smooth and nice. Again, showing no wear anywhere. It really works out well. So the little car's doing pretty good. I'm still struggling to learn how to drive it. I may be a little too old for that part of it, but that's okay. I'm still having fun, still doing it, and kind of getting up to speed a little bit better. Clay, I would appreciate any input from anybody on ideas, what we can do better. I'm not opposed to learning. My mind is wide open. I learn a lot from Clay at Quickstar Seeds. A lot of great ideas. Some of them I cannot afford to do, and other ones I utilize all the time. Again, I think preparation is a must. Have the car clean, ready to go. Batteries charged in the car, battery in the starter box charged. Have your ducks lined up, and go out there and run, not work on the car. Do your homework in the garage. Then you are absolutely ready to go, and you'll have some fun. That's kind of it. I appreciate everybody watching. If I don't talk to you or see you before, please have a very enjoyable Thanksgiving. Stay real safe, and thank you very much for watching, and we'll talk to you all later. Bye.